So I've been watching and paying attention to this Derek Jackson thing. And it's funny how there's a lot of guys that are jumping on him and they're clowning him because of his position and what's happening to him. And it stems from, some of the things that he said in the past. But let's be honest, it's not as if some of the points that he made in his videos weren't correct. Now, granted, um, to come down on any human being for being imperfect is a bit arrogant, no matter who it comes from. I mean, none of us are without our faults, and to take the position of being overly harsh and going out of your way to denigrate anyone who's made a mistake or is flawed is uh, a bit arrogant and a bit self-righteous, which I wouldn't go so far as to defend Derek Jackson by any stretch, because I always found him to be, at very minimum, um, disingenuous. However, it doesn't take away from the reality that some of the ideas he expressed were not only true, but more than that, um, said a lot of how women think in general and how they view men and how they view relationships. And in some ways, I think he had a lot to do with shaping some of those, or reinforcing at the very least, those ideas. And so I wouldn't go so far as to say that he was off base on everything. And I feel like what a lot of people are trying to do is use this as a reason to negate everything that he said, as if everything that he said was trash and without merit or without any value, which that's not true. Um, the thing about life is more than one thing can be true. Derek Jackson can very well be trash, but Derek Jackson can also be capable of telling you something that can be very valuable and inspirational to you. I'm not co-signing him whatsoever, but there are other guys out there that I think offer a more honest opinion and a more honest uh, perspective as far as the male perspective. And I think we all need that balance, men and women alike. There's a Kevin Samuels. I really like Abba and Preach. There's a brother he goes by Mediocre Tutorials. These guys tend to be a little bit more balanced in their ideas. Kevin probably viewed to be a little bit more harsh, but you also have to understand he's an older guy, and where he comes from in life with regard to the generation is a little bit more straightforward, and he's just an older guy, and so typically older men, and I emphasize men, is that they don't deal with a lot of bullshit. There's more straight talk. This generation being that being raised by women, and um, not really having a lot of young brothers not really having strong male role models around them, tend to navigate life, um, and tend to be more in touch with their feminine side. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but there needs to be a balance. And so I feel like people find Kevin to be a little bit harsh because he tends to air more and be more in tune with his male side, which there's nothing wrong with that either. But pick your poison. Not everyone's going to give you the message in the way in which you'd like it. It's more about packaging, right? Abba and Preach, Mediocre, Kevin, a lot of them echo the same sentiments, but the packaging is going to be different, you know? So you're getting the same product, However, if you are more of a fan of a lighter tone or a lighter touch or a more expressive way of putting something, then you might want to go to like Ab and Preach or Mediocre, where it's a little bit. They give you a little bit more room to kind of feel your feels a little bit. But if you appreciate a person that's going to be direct with you, not going to bullshit with you, and um, just tell you the truth, then I think Kevin is probably the best way to go. So, as at this point, like I said, I do not agree with everything that Kevin says all the time, but it's hard to argue against a lot of his points based on your feelings. So if you are entering into Kevin and you're one of those people who wears their heart on their sleeves, you're not going to bode well. But I think it's time for all of us to grow up as a people, as a society in general. We got to grow up. We got to be better than what we've been. And I think part of that is taking a very hard look at ourselves and being genuinely honest about who we are and who we have been, and put that into perspective with what is realistic as far as where we're trying to go. Um, and so I would encourage everyone to find people that allow for human error. Keep in mind, none of us are perfect. We're all gonna make mistakes, and we're all gonna, we all have error. So um, be mindful to gravitate towards people that take that in as a factor, and take in the reality that yes, none of us are perfect, and that we're all bouncing around. We're all born into this world knowing nothing, inclined to many things, genetics, but we don't know anything, and so we're in this world trying to figure it out. And with the lifespans being what they are, relatively in a very short amount of time, so it's inevitable that we're going to make mistakes. And so anyone that's going to advise you in a way that doesn't consider that is more than likely disingenuous and is offering you a standard that is impossible to reach. So with that being said, I hope this helps some people. I hope people understand what I'm saying. Um, my intention, this is a new channel. I haven't really posted much, but my intention is to uh, just offer different perspectives, and look at different things from different angles. Because life is all about angles. It's all about how you look at something can shape the way you interact with the world. So I just want to take different topics and kind of explain and just explore different angles or different perspectives of a specific topic. Um, it's not a lot of editing going on, so it's going to be pretty straightforward, probably pretty raw, but until I kind of get a groove of things. But I plan on trying to put more videos out more and more often and just kind of attack some subjects. So anyway, with that being said, you guys take care and have a good one. And like, comment, subscribe, you know, all those things are appreciated.